Alright, so this is my list of 3. And the 3 categories are the Cherry Festival's most disrespectful crowd, the Cherry Festival's most fun crowd, and then of course finally the Cherry Fest's most respectable crowd. And when I say crowd, I mean specifically on the hours of, I would say, 6 o'clock until 11 o'clock, i.e. the concert hours. As such, today is the 9th, the last day of the Cherry Festival, and therefore I can officially rank the worst to the best in these 3 categories. So, starting in at number 1, it would be the most fun crowd, and that would have to go to Sheryl Crow. The reason that it goes to Sheryl Crow is because although I was like this and I was having a good old time singing along with the songs, going through nostalgia, all that good shit, there are several people that came up and were talkative, and not only that, but a couple fist bumps and saying how they're vibing with the music too. It was a pretty enjoyable crowd for sure. There was one guy that said something in a obviously silly manner, but nonetheless that's why it's not under the most respectable. But it was definitely the most fun. Still a good crowd nonetheless. And now, number 2 category, the most disrespectful and or worst crowd that I experienced since last Saturday to this Saturday, who goes without a question of a doubt, the Dwight Yoakam crowd. That concert crowd, by far the most rudest, disrespectful, terrible crowd that I ever come across throughout this whole week. Multiple people coming up to me trying to start shit, with their shitty little comment. And then on top of that night too, there was someone that pushed over a porta potty. There was something I witnessed too. An old man actually had fallen, and you could hear the smack of his head hitting that cement, right? And it was just outside the concert area. And real country boys and country girls, guess what they would do? They would go to at least offer to help, or if not, be assertive enough to actually just go up and help him up, make sure he's all good. You know what motherfuckers did? That crowd of country boys and country girls, fake ass wannabe posers, stood around more than they did anything else, while the rest of them, if they weren't standing around, walked on by. So I had to be the one to help, because I'm a real country boy.
Hey.
More so than any of these other fake ass poser teenage cliche versions of what country is. AKA, oh, I listen to country music, I put on a cowboy hat, I put on some cowboy boots, and some horse shorts, some plaid shirt, or camouflage, and now I am 100% country. The high school cliche version of what people actually think is country. Like, yeah, okay, fucking posers, wannabe losers, still stuck in high school, obviously. They wouldn't know country if it smacked them in the face. I worked on a farm of 62.2 acres doing real country boy living. Motherfuckers that just play the dress-up game wouldn't know what the fuck to do if they even were able to survive getting up at fucking 5:30 in the morning and going to bed at about 11 p.m. at night, along with having to go to school. It's like, yeah, you fucking fake ass wannabe poser bitches. But anyways, it doesn't surprise me that that crowd of people would be the most disrespectful and the most rude and the most crude, doing stupid shit like pushing over porta potties, not helping people who just fell. That's exactly what I'd expect out of all those fake ass wannabe posers. Oh, I'm so country. It's like, hell no, you're not. You go to a Dwight Yoakam concert in your supposed country. No, you're not. You're fake. You're wannabe country. You'll never be country. You're trying to be something that you'll never be. Never live up to the standard of being. I don't know why you fake ass posers think you are. Maybe you're just trying to live out some fantasy or whatever, but no, you're not. Anyway, moving on. I already made a whole video of several characteristics of what a fake ass country person is, so I'll just leave it at that. Alright, and now the final crowd. The most respectful crowd. The most open and welcoming type of crowd. And that was, you guessed it, ZZ Top. That audience matched the status of ZZ Top himself. I had not one snarky remark, sarcastic statement, or joking wise or otherwise. No, if they acknowledged me, it was a fist bump, or you got a lot of stuff going on there. Rock on, be yourself. Those type of comments. Very encouraging, very respectful, very civil. So, to put it lightly, the ZZ Top crowd was the best crowd of all Cherry Festival. No doubt about that. The most respectful, the most welcoming, the most accepting. A lot of old timers were there, so it doesn't surprise me very much that they would be as awesome as they were and are. So I definitely have to give a thumbs up to that particular crowd of individuals. You guys were awesome, and as was ZZ Top's performance. And then, just as a side topic, I was at the Nelly Deck VIP area, and I had a good time there, and I'd say that crowd was pretty cool too. Although KP was in that area too, and it didn't look like she was having very fun. So what's up with that? 106 KHQ's KP? Anyways, until next time.